What do you think when you hear crime rates are going down? This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. Well, I guess I would have that question because it seems like what you would think is crime rates are going down.
Right? But I think we all know we can't necessarily always believe what we hear. And when I hear that as a criminal defense attorney, I wonder, okay, well, what has happened to cause crime rates to go down? And I think that everybody needs to always ask, if there's a claim being made, what is being used to support that claim?
Yeah, I guess that's true that it would be about, whether the crime rates are going down or not, too, because like what maybe is the report coming from? Are we even sure if it's a true report?
Exactly. And what is the motivation of the person or the agency making that claim? And so typically when I look at a claim like that, being a criminal defense attorney, I have to wonder, okay, well, if crime rates are going down, that means something else had to happen. And there's only a limited amount of possibilities of what could happen. So if the crime rates are going down, the criminals have all left the area, or perhaps there's a larger police presence that is people are seeing more police on the street. But there's something behind that claim, and it could even be that perhaps the crime rate hasn't gone down, but the reported or the prosecuted crimes have gone down. And there's a whole slew of players and factors that come into that equation.
I suppose, yeah. So if we kind of look at this, philosophically in a way, it seems like crime is going to be what crime is, no matter what, and then the reporting on it is a different piece. So if no one is reporting on it, if the police or prosecutors aren't reporting, then we perceive that maybe there isn't as much crime. But it sounds like what you're also getting at is maybe there are forces that truly do drive crime down in an area. Is that right?
Right. And so a lot of that has to do with what is the government doing. I mean, the government plays a large role in whether or not there's going to be a lot of crime reported in specific areas. For instance, in Wyoming and South Dakota, we have a strong, large police presence. That is, our law enforcement is funded, and generally we have enough members. Now, granted, in the less populated areas of the states, there's not going to necessarily be as many law enforcement because there's very few people. But generally, in the state of Wyoming and the state of South Dakota, there are going to be a large number of police officers, and specifically in the jurisdictions that I practice in, there's also prosecutors who are willing to prosecute the cases that the police bring to them. And so you have a police presence, you have prosecutors willing to prosecute, and then you have judges a lot of times that are, favoring the prosecution. Basically that I am calling a spade, and it really is, I guess, a deck that's stacked against the offender or the accused sometimes.
Okay, so someone is driving, say, from Washington State across the country and, may perceive up there, oh, well, there isn't that much crime because I don't see much prosecution or enforcement of crime. And then they drive into Wyoming and they see, oh, there's lots of enforcement and lots of prosecution, and on to South Dakota. Really nothing has changed in terms of crime, but the enforcement and prosecution is changing, right?
Right. For instance, Wyoming has this statistic of per capita there being more DUIs in the state of Wyoming than a lot of other states in the nation. And so you would think, oh, okay, well, are people just driving drunk in Wyoming? Or is the enforcement just more harsh in Wyoming? And my understanding, my belief is that there's not more people driving drunk in Wyoming, but there are a lot more law enforcement per capita as well. So you get the impression that there's a lot more crime or a lot more DUIs in Wyoming just because there's a lot more arrests and prosecutions.
Okay, so with a lot more arrests and prosecutions, that seems to point very strongly to if you find yourself in that kind of a situation, you might need a very good defense attorney. And they might want to be looking you up for that. So how do they get in touch with you?
Sure, we'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.